out in the field today. Hi, what's your name? Hey, Bob Bibber. Bob, what do you do? I'm in artillery. Thank you, Bob. Can we play anything for you? Anything, just play it loud, okay?
When you were a kid growing up in the 80s, you kept a mental checklist of all the toys that you wanted. But at some point in your adolescence, you forgot that list and started obsessing about the girl in your science class. When I was 12, G.I. Joe's self-propelled cannon dubbed the Slugger was at the top of my list. But there was this girl, and I never got it. Until last week. It wasn't really a popular vehicle, and I think that's why I liked it. None of my friends had one. I think it only made one appearance in the cartoon. Everyone wanted a tank. Coincidentally, if you search for the Slugger on Google or eBay, you'll see that most people refer to it as a tank. But it is not a tank. It's mobile artillery. Mobile artillery usually has lighter armor, but much greater firepower. It is designed to do damage while far from the front line, not engage the enemy head-on like tanks do. Because it is self-propelled, it can move on its own and does not require another vehicle to relocate. Now, the Vamp was modeled after the Lamborghini Cheetah, and the Rattler after the A10 Warthog. But it took a bit of research to figure out where they got the idea for the Slugger. The M107 was the basis for the idea behind it, but it had treads. I decided that chassis just had to have come from the LAV 300 by Cadillac Gauge. It saw action in Panama and Kuwait and is used by the Philippine military to this day. A later model, called the LAV 600, included a much larger gun on a turret that looks very similar in some ways to the Slugger. As a kid examining pictures of the Slugger, I noticed several doors. This was great. It was big enough to hold some extra Joes. Well, the rear door is a hatch that simply reveals the engine. And the front door isn't a working door at all. It's just decorative. Now, in the Slugger's defense, it looks a lot bigger in the catalog, but it's actually the same size as the Vamp, sans the barrel. But all those doors and that big cannon were a bit misleading. There is room for only one Joe, and I guess the cannon is self-loading. Strike one, Hasbro. The Slugger's blueprints boast a 175mm howitzer. The average projectile fired by a 175mm howitzer can travel over 25 miles. Now let's convert that for a 1/18 scale toy. That's still well over a mile. So if your friends were getting together for a battle in Jimmy's yard on the other side of the neighborhood, and you wanted to participate with your Slugger, realistically, you'd have to stay home and fire on Cobra from your own yard. Hopefully you had a really long phone cord in the kitchen so you could stay in contact with the forward observer.
Skunk 1, this is Bravo 2. Call on fire to follow at Grid Oscar Whiskey. Tree 8720. Altitude 570. Danger close. Fire for effect.
Don't you want to play with your friends?
But I am.
You see, it doesn't really look all that fun now, does it? And it's a shame, too, because Jimmy's mom always had Sunny D. That's strike two, Hasbro. I'm starting to realize why no one wanted the Slugger. I am kidding, of course. I like the Slugger very much. It was made back when the Joe's vehicles were still green, and before things started getting weird. And by that I mean Globulus and the G.I. Joe spaceship. Anyway, I finally got the Slugger. Dreams do come true. It is the largest vehicle in my collection and displays beautifully with its driver, whose name, by the way, is Thunder. Thunder is from Kentucky, and he likes loud noises. He gets along well with my other Joes, and his favorite beer is Killian's Red. If you had the Slugger when you were a kid, please leave a comment or share a memory. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you liked it, please like it. Thank you for watching.